Right, here we go. Well, I'm sort of getting a bit older now, and I guess that I'm probably an elder, you could say, which means I'm very concerned for my children and my grandchildren and the grandchildren of all of my friends. So, children in general, really. And so, you don't have to be necessarily young to be a child because you could sort of determine childishness as being immature behaviour. So, to protect all of the children out there, whether they be young or old, I've sort of got this dilemma. I have a moral obligation to bring to the attention of all children certain things that they're doing in their behaviour that is going to harm them physically, but more importantly for those children out there in that world that I don't know, that's going to harm them spiritually. Now, I, in my journey, have enjoyed sort of studying the ancient wisdom of our species, particularly whitefella dreaming, and in my own quest to sort of figure out my own spiritual mechanics, let's just put it like that, to understand the mechanics and the dynamics of karma and dharma, and in an attempt to prepare myself for my imminent arrival to the portal of death, as every single one of us. So even if you're going to live to be well beyond 100, you will arrive at the portal. So you haven't spent much time looking into the wisdom traditions to arm yourself with the preparedness, let's put it like that. So are you prepared for your arrival? Have you done all the things that you could possibly have done to feel that when it is your time to arrive, you've done all necessary to be ready to be there? So that sounds a bit complicated. There's certain things I'd like to say, but you're not allowed to say it on YouTube, because on YouTube they do not tolerate the I'm not even going to say it, because this video, even though I'm sort of trying to put it out there and give you this message, you wouldn't be able to hear it because it would be censored or banned. So particularly in our current zeitgeist, in our current world phenomena, which I can't say, there's certain things that are happening that all the employees of YouTube would come in and censor and ban me from saying. So I actually can't say it here, but there's certain things that I need to say, particularly to the immature behaviour of the children employees of YouTube, because in their actually censoring and banning and condemning certain things from being said, they are in fact damaging themselves. They have a moral obligation to bring to their attention that they are hurting themselves. Now, it wouldn't be necessarily apparent because most beings are ignorant of, well, I'm not going to say that because I'll get banned for saying it. So they are certain degrees of ignorance of certain things that I'm not going to say here, because you'll actually never ever hear it anyway, because the video wouldn't be there, because YouTube would take it down. Now, there's certain videos that I've been and done, I haven't posted on my own channel, but I know because I've sort of had a conversation with somebody else about a particular subject, and it was taken down immediately, and within minutes they received an email threatening to take their channel down. So the video was only talking about protecting yourself spiritually from certain things, which I'm not going to say because you won't hear about it. if I did say it, you wouldn't be able to hear it because the video wouldn't be up there. YouTube's employees, due to their childish, immature behaviour, are going to stop everybody from hearing it, but particularly themselves. So they are damaging themselves, and I'm helpless to be able to help them from their damage, because they are going to take this down if I say what I'm going to say. So it's sort of like, it puts me in a bit of a hard position, you know, boys and girls, because as an old Aussie bogan, but I'm not, you know, a horrible bogan. I'm more like a sensitive new age bogan, more like a bogan hippie, I suppose you could say. And so there's certain things that need to be said. Bogans are very good at just sort of saying stuff that need to be said, and not worrying about who gets sort of upset when you actually say it. And so in the how will we put this without it getting banned? Crikey, I've got to be careful what I say, because the employees of YouTube will stop this from being able to be watched by any of you guys out there. But there is a very special thing that needs to be said in regards our spiritual health and our being prepared for our arrival to the portal of death. There is only one Stargate, there is only one portal, and absolutely every living soul passes through it. And so if you've not spent much time investing your focus and attention into the spiritual traditions of the cultures of our species, so particularly if you are a white fella, well, you should be exploring the epigenetics of your white fella dreaming, which means extending way back beyond the mind boggle of religiosity into the more ancient wisdom of our species. Now that goes across for whether you're Asian fella dreaming, Indian fella dreaming, South American fella dreaming, black fella dreaming, all of the dreaming. And you have a duty to yourself to invest your focus and effort into looking into the wisdom that your genetic chain is connected to your ancestors, your own particular ancestors, and listen to what they have to say. Well, you can't actually listen, but you can survey the sticky notes that they've left in the timeline for you to remember who you are, but most importantly, prepare yourself for the journey that you have ahead of you. Now, it's all there. If you're going to spend your life just, I don't know, you know, drinking beer and watching sport and watching porn or watching television and, oh, excuse me, Oompa, and all of those sorts of things, there's a fair chance that you're not going to have an involve with the evolve of your soul. And so if you're not having a conscious involve with the evolve of your soul, there's going to be quite possibly, and it's only speculation, but there's quite possibly there's going to be, you're going to, upon your arrival to the portal of death, there's going to be a moment you think, oh crikey, I don't think I've prepared myself for this. I've spent too much time sort of getting lost in distractions, whereas there is certainly, most definitely, plenty of information left in our spiritual traditions that will, once you've sort of soaked it in, read it, heard it, but more importantly, digested it and lived it, you will be ready for that which awaits you at and beyond the portal. Now, there's certain things that we are at a very important sort of crunch time here in humanity. There's certain things going on. There's certain behaviours being expressed that we can't talk about here that will impinge upon your preparedness for your arrival. Now, I say children because it is a immature behaviour that would censor and ban and condemn and mock those who are endeavouring to fulfil their moral obligation to bring certain important messages to you, but you won't listen. In fact, you'll stop anybody else from hearing it as well. So hopefully this isn't too offensive, what I've said, and that you'll be able to, for those among you who are able to, read between the lines, guess what it is that I'm not saying, so that this isn't banned, but you can figure it out by the things that I haven't said, what it is that you need to have heard but wouldn't have been able to hear because it would have been banned. So hopefully this isn't banned, but you're able to decipher from it that which you can hear from my not saying it, but by virtue of it not being banned, you can.